What is going on, guys? Welcome and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having a fantastic day. Now in today's video, we're back playing some more PUBG New State. Huge shout out to PUBG New State for sponsoring this video. I greatly appreciate it. You guys can download PUBG New State if you haven't already using the first link down below in the description. I'm going to be walking you guys through all the settings in PUBG New State, the controls, the sensitivity, all of the settings, and go over everything you need to know and let you guys know what settings you should be using and which ones you shouldn't be using. Let's get into it. Now first, we have the FPS and graphics. Now this entirely depends on the device you are using, but here is the graphics I'm using. I recommend having the highest frame rate you can possibly have and then lowering your graphics. You never want to sacrifice graphics for frame rate. You always want to have the highest frame rate your device can possibly handle. So in my case, I'm going to turn my FPS all the way up to max, and I like to have my graphic quality around medium. When I am recording though, I do bump it up to high just so you guys can have a nicer experience, a nicer time watching the video, because obviously the graphics are way better. Anti-aliasing I like to have on, just makes the game look a lot better. Brightness, just keep it at default 100. Now screen filter, this is entirely up to you. I just leave it on standard. You could go for the more contrast look. It just entirely depends on what you're going for. Heading over to the gameplay settings, I don't really like messing with anything in here, but make sure you have TPP/FPP switch button turned on. Make sure it is enabled. Basically, if you don't know what that means, is you're able to toggle between first person and third person when you're in a game, and this can be super useful when you're in gunfights. You might want to toggle to first person just to have a little bit of an advantage. Now heading over to controls, I keep mine on option 1, left movement, right fire fixed button. Here is my HUD. I do play 5 fingers. I am on an iPad Pro 12.9 inch, so if you are on a different device, obviously your HUD is going to look completely different, but this is how I play. If you look at my hand cam, as you can see, my left index finger and middle finger is going to control the scope, crouch, and jump buttons, and my right index finger is going to control the shoot button and also the reload button. My right thumb is looking around, and my left thumb is going to be the joystick button down on the bottom left. Now peek buttons I don't typically use. I know a lot of people do use. The reason why I don't use peek buttons is simply because I don't like having that many buttons on my screen. I just like having it super simple, super easy to understand. That's why I don't really use peek buttons. Maybe in the future I will turn that on, but right now I don't use it. This next setting is a big one, gyroscope. Now I do not use gyroscope. If you don't know what gyroscope is, it pretty much means as you're tilting your device, the screen is also going to move, so you're going to be able to look around as you tilt your device. And if you're wondering why I don't use gyroscope, is because look, I play on an iPad Pro. This is a 12.9 inch iPad. You don't really need to be playing gyroscope on an iPad this big. You know, this is super uncomfortable. I just have it sitting in my stand here, and I just play laying flat. So if you are on a phone, I highly recommend using gyroscope. The shoulder button I like having on tap. Scope mode I like having on tap. I do use aim assist. Yes, I know some people might be wondering. I use aim assist because, you know, the game gives it to you. Might as well use it, am I right? And if you're going up against people that don't use aim assist, you're at a major disadvantage. So just turn on aim assist. It's not going to make you a noob. Vehicle controls I like having on button controls. It just makes it a lot easier, and it makes me have more control over what I'm doing. Now this is a big one, sensitivity. When I first started playing PUBG New State, I went over to medium. I clicked the medium preset because that's going to give you a general rule of thumb to start out with, and then I kind of adjusted it as time went on. So this is what I'm rocking with here. TPP camera I got general at 112, driver at 113. FPP camera I've got general at 65, driver at 66. Moving down here, all the settings, you guys can take a screenshot, you can copy it, whatever, but keep in mind this is for the device I'm using. This is for my play style. I am an aggressive player, so if you're more of a camper, I wouldn't really recommend using these settings. Now for my pickup settings, I like to have auto pickup turned on, simply because it makes the game a lot easier, especially if you're just starting out and you have no idea what some of the weapons are or the ammo or what anything does. You just open up a loot box and it immediately picks up all of the things you want it to pick up. And there you guys go. That is all the settings inside of PUBG New State. Every single setting, every single option. I try to make it as easy to understand as possible. If you guys have any questions about any of these settings in PUBG New State, make sure to leave a comment down below. I will be sure to answer any of them. Once again, huge shout out to PUBG New State for sponsoring this video. You guys can download PUBG New State using the link down below in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.